Welcome to the Legion of Lean podcast, where we battle mediocrity and build the best versions of ourselves. Get ready to transform.
We're like talking, it's like talking to Jesus and the Apostle Paul right here, to be honest with you. We're holy, and
Oh
everybody
man,
else is
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me another one, Corey. What do you got next? You mean
Yeah.
throw one out there? You got one. You got
Oh,
any
I
more
got a
tips?
couple. I'm sure
I can't
maybe
wait.
I'll steal another one of yours. So,
If you steal another one, I'm gonna
let's see.
stop the podcast immediately. I don't want to talk to
I
you again.
always travel with my supplements. So no matter
Ooh,
where I go, I'm bringing a tub of protein with me, in order to try and meet those macros, right? So again,
ooh, that's
it's the
good.
same thing. So I will, I'll take a protein shake in the morning because if I'm going, we go to Mexico every summer with my whole family. We take our kids there. It's a great place. The Grand Moon Palace. So if you're watching, throw me a few extra nights. Um, but
No
um,
doubt.
but so they've got this incredible buffet, man, and let me tell you, are my jam. I think we've talked about this before, Don, right?
Yeah,
So they got this
yeah.
great buffet down there. So I mean, if I go in there, I mean, I could still eat 5,000
Oh, you could
calories a day
eat.
if I wanted
You
to.
you
So
could
I can
easily eat
shut that
that.
place down. So if I go in there and I'm just, and I'm ready to roll, dude. And so I'll go in there and eat 3,000 a meal, for breakfast,
Yeah.
lunch, and dinner. I'm at
Yep.
10,000 calories. So I definitely will. I'll travel with my protein. I'll travel with my electrolytes, things like that. And so I'll try to stay as consistent as I can. Now, trust me, I am eating what I want to eat. I'm
Yep.
trying to control it a little bit. But just doing what I've done for so long, like I'll go in there for lunch and, I'll find the I'll find the chicken that they made that day, and I'll find the rice that they have, and I'll have a big old plate of chicken and rice. Like that's just what I do. I'm not
Yeah.
saying you have to do that, but it's just normal for me. But then yeah, I mean, I'll have the dessert, or I'll have, whatever it is they're having, bacon and eggs and whatnot for breakfast, French toast if they've got it, things like that. So I'm not completely just like I'm not this freak in there that's like I need the chicken and rice, I need the eggs, I'm eating what I
Yeah.
want, but I'm just trying to control a little bit. I'm, consciously
Yeah.
making an effort to just make some better decisions. But again, I'm on
Totally.
vacation, and I get that. Like some people are like, I'm going on vacation, like I'm doing it all. And we talked about that too. It's like people, they're like, hey, I'm going to work hard for the first three. I'm working hard for these 4 months. I'm going to have or 4 weeks. I'm going to have everything dialed in, and then so I can go wild. I can go crazy. I've heard that exact sentence. So I can go crazy on vacation. And I'm like, that's
Yeah.
cool. Like that's awesome. So you can do that.
Yeah.
However, again, I said this to you earlier as well. Typically, I'll see them the first week and they're really just really going hard in the gym, and
Yeah.
oh, how's your diet? It's great, it's great. And that week two, hey, how's it going? Nah, I gave up, man. It didn't. I
Yeah.
was gonna lose it all on vacation anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so then you
Yeah.
didn't do anything to get ready,
Yep.
and now you're just gonna also then go even crazier on vacation.
Yeah.
So things like that. So like I said, back to my point, I always travel with my protein when it comes to vacation, whether it's a 3 day
Yeah.
trip or a 7 day trip. Um, and what I'll do, a little tip, because your protein tubs are usually pretty large. I've got all sorts of different supplements. So whenever my BCAAs or my EAAs or whatever, a smaller container, what I'll do is I'll save one of those when I get close to vacation time, and I'll fill that up with the protein, and I'll just throw my scoop in there, so I know exactly.
That's
I'll
smart.
bring that with me. Yeah, or you can even buy the little. It's like the little containers that are like individual servings, and they kind of screw together and they make like a stack. And so I'll use those sometimes too. I'll take those on airplanes quite a bit if I'm on a long flight. Again, because that's the same thing too, is when you're on an airplane. My wife and I went to Europe last summer, and so it was an 8 or 9 hour flight. And so they gave you food on there. It's not always the best, right? So I definitely took a couple protein shakes while I was on there.
Hmm.
Just to kind of hold you over until you get to where you're going. So yeah, protein again, because we've talked about macros. Protein is the most important macro, right?
Yep.
That's the most important thing you need to make sure that you're always hitting. And so I always still try to hit my 250 to 300 grams of protein a day, which for most people, that's double, right? What they're trying to get. They're trying to get closer to the 150 mark.
Yeah.
So if you can take a protein shake, right, even if it's one scoop, you're at 25 grams. And so you go eat 4 or 5 eggs, which again, maybe a lot for some people, but or if you take 2 scoops of protein in the morning or before lunch or dinner, that's 50 grams of protein. So you're a third of the way there for the average person. So I think that's important if you can, and you can find like the bags of protein that are easier to pack and fit.
Yep.
But if you want to do it, you'll figure out a way. So
Absolutely, you will. This might be a very similar point to what you just said. Um, Protein is the most important macronutrient. That's what I've been preaching for 20 years. And now I'm glad there's so many doctors that are getting a hold of my wisdom, Corey. They've stole my ideas and now they're making
That's
millions of
right.
dollars.
That's right.
But protein is the most important macronutrient. Most people don't get enough in. And what I do, if I'm getting ready for a treat meal, but I'm getting ready to go on vacation, I'm going to California, and we're driving 3 days, Corey.
Yeah. Oh,
A
wow. I didn't know
3 day
you were
drive.
driving. Okay.
Yes, we got
But
to.
that'll actually be a pretty cool drive.
Oh
You'll see a
yeah,
lot of
like
cool parts of the
I'm check.
country.
Well, yeah, we've done it before. We love it, and
Okay.
so this time we're going up to Nebraska, going to Highway 80, and it's not going to be as pretty drive because we want to get there a little
My
faster.
whole family lives out in Nebraska, so we've driven across that state many times. So yes, I know.
But
Not much there.
I got Super Cruise now, so it drives
That's
itself. I can't
right. The new
wait.
Tahoe.
Can't wait. But I
Nice.
digress to the point. I'm taking a cooler, and what I want, I have to get a minimum of protein I have to have in a day is at 200 grams. This is not the best. I don't recommend it for people to do all the time. But what I will do, Corey, is this. I'm not going to food prep my chicken. I'm not going to eat chicken. I've told you this before. If I prep food, I've got to put sauces on my chicken because I've had so much chicken as a young man. My trainer said I couldn't even put salt on my chicken. He'd be like, "You ain't putting
Yeah.
salt on that, boy?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I tell you, put salt on that." I said, "No." And so I learned some bad habits from him as far as binge eating because I'd eat so much bad food because I ate food I hated. His philosophy was, if it tastes good, you couldn't eat it. You can't eat
Of course. Yeah. Yeah.
it.
Old
So it's
school.
like, this is crazy. Anyway,
Yeah.
it will make everybody freaking bulimic. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I
Yeah.
love it. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what I will do is I've got some chops, beef sticks. I got some built puff bars. I got some power crunch bars. I got some Fairlife protein shakes. I'll freaking load up on the healthy junk food
Options. Yeah.
because at
Exactly.
least
Yeah.
I'm getting, and then it is junk, but I'm getting the macronutrient.
For
Protein's the
sure.
same. Protein's the same. Doesn't matter if it comes from, no matter what it comes from. If it's complete grab protein. There's a difference between soy
Yeah.
or like vegan protein. It doesn't assimilate the same way. But if it's
Yeah.
a complete gram of protein, your body recognizes it just like a chicken breast. If you get whey protein,
Exactly.
it's just like a chicken breast.
Yeah.
Now, all
Yeah.
the additives man puts in it's a totally different ballgame. So that's what's bad about it. It's not the protein necessarily. It's all the freaking crap they put in sucrose, all that
Yeah.
kind of crap. But what I'll do, Corey, is I'll have my cooler, my freaking 3 days. I'll have 20 protein shakes in my
Yeah.
cooler. I'll have my puff built bars, the coconut built puff built bars, freaking belt best. I can't even talk because I get so excited. Coconut. I should run for president. You know what I'm saying? Because there was one guy who couldn't talk at all, and he was. I could have won.
Oh, who you're talking
Anyway,
about.
yeah, I know you don't. Um, Coconut puff bar. Freaking
Okay.
amazing. They're so good. It's insane.
Yeah.
Tastes like a Mounds bar. I'll have that. And I'll have a load up on all this stuff. And then what happened is this. So I'll make sure I get my 200 grams of protein in. I drink four Fairlife protein shakes. That's 120 grams of
Exactly.
120 grams of protein. I'll do 2 chopsticks. Now I'm at 150 calories. 150 grams of protein. Now I go to Chick-fil-A. I'll even get the fried nuggets. I'm not as perfect as you, but
Yeah.
I'll get 15, I'll get 12 nuggets and they're 400 calories and I'll get 5 extra. I'll get 18 nuggets and I'll get a diet lemonade or I'll get a water and I've got my 200 grams of protein in and I'm still
Yeah.
under my calories for the day. Now, I'm not
Yeah.
telling you that's something to do all the time,
No, 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 that's not a
but
long-term diet, but it's definitely, yeah, so go ahead. And I'll tag on when you're finished.
and so that's what I'm going to do on the way to California as we're tracking across the United States of America. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And so there's definitely like, yeah, there's so many options out there. And so I do the same thing. So we're actually driving Saturday. We're driving to Kentucky. We're picking up a Bernedoodle puppy.
Oh my God, those are
It's
freaking.
a it's
My
a
God,
Bernese Mountain Dog and a poodle mix. It's gonna and I told my wife, I go, hey, if we're doing it, I want the
you know
full
what?
size. I want this thing to be 100 pounds. I want to be big. And so we're
A
picking up this little
doodle,
right now. He's like 15
a
pounds. His name's
doodle.
Rex. His name's Rex. So my
That's
kids,
good.
the funny thing is, so I gotta tell a story because it's a great story. So
Okay.
we were saying, okay, well, what if we get a boy dog? Okay, we'll name it this. What if we get a girl dog? We'll name it this. And so Tyrannosaurus Rex is what my 4-year-old came up with, right? Of course, 4-year-old. So we're like, all right, well, okay, we'll put that on the back burner, right? We're naming it Tyrannosaurus Rex. So then the people that were getting this dog from out in Kentucky, they have 6 kids, 3 boys, 3 girls. Well, this mom dog, right? This Bernese Mountain Dog that had
Yeah.
these these Bernedoodle puppies, had six puppies, three boys and
Mm.
three girls. So they named the puppies after their kids. Well, lo and behold, one of the kids' names is Rex. So we're like, hey,
Wow.
we're gonna keep, well, hey, so we'll name him T-Rex. We'll call him Rex. And so that's so we ended
You're a
up getting that one. So
genius.
it worked out perfect, right? So anyway, and so it's funny. We'll get videos, and the dad will be showing us, giving us updates, and he keeps calling him T-Rex in the video. So that's pretty cool. So his real name is T-Rex, but we're gonna call him Rex. But anyway, so what I was gonna get back to you. So anyway, so we're driving out there. So I'm the same way. I will pack up 6, 7 protein bars. It's only a 3.5 hour drive, but there and back. So I'll be, 7 hours total. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna need my protein. And so there are so many options out there. These protein bars they make nowadays, they're candy bars. They taste like candy
Oh
bars.
my gosh, yes. What's
So
your
I'm a
favorite?
big, so I'm a first form guy. So
Yeah.
they make these level 1 bars that are
Uh-huh.
just phenomenal, and they're all delicious. But I've been recently eating these. They're called Max Effort Muscle Bars.
Max
Um,
Effort Muscle Bar.
Max Effort Muscle. If you type in Max Effort Muscle, and they've got a s'mores, they've got a peanut butter, and they just came out with a galactic brownie, which I ordered because they've all been phenomenal. What I love about these bars is they also contain 5 grams of creatine in them. So,
Ah,
I'm a 10 to 15 grams of creatine a day guy. So I'm not going to eat 6 of them, right? Because I don't need that much creatine. But there's 25 grams of protein, 200 calories, I think 20 grams of carbs, right? Um, so that's what I love about them, and they're freaking good, and they're dense. So, but not like dense like a power bar, the old power
yeah.
bars.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
garbage
not
juice.
like
Yeah.
that. But they're good and they're crispy on the inside. So they're great. So Max Effort Muscle. Again, if you're watching, hit your boy up. But
Yeah.
but anyway, and then with Chick-fil-A, so I'm the same way. So, but here's the thing: is people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna get the grilled chicken sandwich." I just pulled up their nutrition chart because it's actually if when you in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big a deal. So a Chick-fil-A sandwich, the classic sandwich, is 420 calories. Okay, 18 grams of fat. The grilled chicken sandwich, okay,
Yeah.
is 390 calories. So only 30 less
Oh,
calories than the regular,
right.
right? And 11 grams of fat. So only 7 grams of fat, which that's not that big of a difference. Now, unless you're really, really unless you're really on a strict diet. And then as far as let me get over here to the carbs. Okay, so the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, 41 carbs. The grilled chicken sandwich is 45. So actually four more carbs there. And the protein, the regular Chick-fil-A sandwich has 1 more gram of protein at 29. So
Wow.
realistically for me, when I'm with 30 calories, I'm not concerned with fat content when it
No.
comes to like one meal here and there. So I'll get the regular Chick-fil-A sandwich. It tastes better. And the macros for me, at least with my goals, are not that different. So that's something to keep in mind too. So it's like you don't even, I mean, if you want the grilled sandwich, go for it. But again, it's not that much different. And even with the nuggets, I mean, I think the nuggets aren't even really all that much different either. But anyway, so you can check all that stuff. But
No.
that's just one example. So, so like you said, what I do, I tell people, Chick-fil-A is a great option. You can go through and get the grilled nuggets. Um, if you get 12 of them, it's like 40 grams of protein. I mean,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. And those are pretty good too. And then I always recommend now where you get in trouble with Chick-fil-A are the sauces, right?
Oh yeah.
Because so Chick-fil-A sauce is like 150 calories. It's ridiculous. So I try to stick to the buffalo sauce. It's like 25 calories. It's not too spicy. But so I tell people, I was like, hey, if you're in a bind, man, you go through Chick-fil-A and just get to 12 nuggets. And if you want to get like their side salad, you can mix it up and eat that, and it'll give you a full meal. But I get it because Chick-fil-A, I mean, it's not the cheapest. There's no cheap options out there anymore, right?
No.
But that's a great thing is yeah, plan your road trips, like plan what you're going to do. And as you were saying, the Fairlife, like we were up in New York over around Christmas time, and we're at a hotel, and so downstairs in their little, whatever shop or store where they had the Fairlife, the 40 grams of protein ones, and so yeah, I had a few of those throughout our time that we were there. I would take it when we were getting ready to leave. I'd grab one and take it as we were walking or going somewhere. Yeah, so I would never recommend that as like your actual like long-term diet. But if you're in a bind, if you're in a pinch, like protein is better than no protein. So
Oh yeah, 100%.
if it's either I'm going to take this 40 grams of Fairlife milk or nothing, take the 40 grams of protein from the Fairlife milk, which is exactly
100%.
what you were saying. It's like, yo, so for 3 days, like it'll be fine. It's not that, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
So
And in fact, when it comes to even if you're like show and Corey's very, very strict. He's a true believer in what he does, and he's a clean eater. Well, I'm a lifestyle coach, and I also train competitors. But in reality, in order to be in great shape and to be physically fit, you it's not as hard as what most people think it is. It's not hard at
no,
all. It's
it's
amazing how
not.
many indiscretions you can have and still mess up.
Yeah.
Corey's actually telling you the right thing as far as the Fairlife's not the best thing. It's a lot better than most. But as far as to be fit, you could have 6-pack abs and have Fairlife protein shake every day.
Yeah.
I know that is a fact. And so, but Corey actually speaks to a even how do I say it's a stronger, more disciplined demographic than most people, and I love that. You actually are a true blue competitor who lives a brand and a discipline that most people don't have. But you've actually said something that everybody can relate to with that, though. You're on a
No.
big road trip, man. Absolutely, have your
Yeah,
muscle bar, have your Fairlife protein shake,
for sure.
and then get
Yeah.
your better
And
source when you come back because there are
yeah,
better sources.
I agree. Uh,
I'm going to ask you a question, Corey.
Yeah.
So what do you do? Like, we'll wrap this up with a
hmm
couple more questions. What do you do if you blow it? So that's what I'm saying. 90% of the population is the last statistic I heard. And once again, not 100% sure if it's a
Yeah.
real statistic, but 90% of the population is overweight now.
hmm
What would you say to the normie? That's not a really good term to call them, a normal person. We're
Yeah.
not going to try to offend somebody. A normal person
Yeah.
who is trying to get in shape because everybody wants to get in shape.
Yeah.
And they just freaking blow it on vacation. Because
Yeah.
what happens? You go on a cruise or you go on vacation and
All inclusive.
you're
Yeah.
all inclusive and you eat everything in the buffet. You get your money's worth.
Yeah.
What do you tell
Oh,
them
yeah.
whenever they're done? What is it? Okay, now I'm back,
Yeah.
and because what happens is invariably you go, man, I'm gonna get back on it when I get off vacation.
Yeah.
We've all heard that. What
Yep.
do you tell them?
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
Yeah. I mean, I say that